Hello guys, welcome back to Ren's Guide to Anime. I've got you another anime recap. It's on a Chinese anime named Sweet Bite Marks. This is based on a vampire romance anime, so stick till the end. This is a world where vampires are real and they have complete control over society. Humans are their primary source of food, and they keep them alive to maintain a steady food supply. The story begins with a group of vampires who go on a rampage, attacking a human town. During the attack, they break into houses and the parents of a young girl and boy make the ultimate sacrifice to protect their children from harm. In the present day, that young girl Xiao Xin-du is a student at an academy where humans are subservient to vampires. One day, she is asked to deliver some papers to a classroom and inadvertently walks in on a noble vampire drinking the blood of some of her fellow students. It turns out to be Roy Lopez, the prince of the campus, who has a reputation for treating humans like trash. When Xiaoxin tries to run away, he catches up to her and pins her down. She reacts by slapping him and leaving a cut on his face. Roy is outraged by her behavior and drags her out to the balcony to declare her his enemy, making her the target of bullying from the other students. In the past, Roy had a blood servant that he really cared about, but one day she left him without saying a word and it really hurt him. That's why he's so mean to humans now. One day, Xiaoxin was knocked out and taken to a dark place by some students. They handed her over to some boys who were going to do bad things to her. But Roy showed up and scared them off. He took Xiaoxin to his place and asked his maids to take care of her. However, when Roy came back to check on her later, he found out that she had run away. Xiaoxin was running away when some crows started chasing her, then she fell from a cliff during the chase. But Roy caught her. However, a moment later they both fell down, and Roy protected her from the fall. He was badly injured and bleeding, but he told her to leave. However, Xiaoxin didn't want to owe anything to vampires who had killed her parents, so she offered her blood to Roy, but he didn't drink it. Instead, he hugged her until he recovered. When Xiaoxin tried to leave again, she fainted from the poisonous miasma in the forest. When she woke up, she found herself in Roy's room, which was sealed shut. Later, Roy came in and pushed her onto the bed, asking her to be his blood slave. Xiaoxin's brother has a serious heart condition, and the only way to get treatment is for Xiaoxin to go to a school run by vampires. One day, Xiaoxin's brother hears that she has been taken by a vampire noble, so he goes to Roy's place to rescue her. However, when he talks to Roy, he faints because his heart condition has gotten worse. Xiaoxin also faints from shock. Roy arranges for Xiaoxin's brother to be hospitalized and tells Xiaoxin that he's doing okay, but the treatment is expensive. In exchange for her brother's treatment, Xiaoxin agrees to become Roy's blood slave. Xiaoxin was still being bullied in school, but a senior named Senai helped her out and took her to the medical center. Then, Roy came and took Xiaoxin away to a room and asked her to undress. But he didn't let her do it, and instead he hugged her tightly and warned her not to get close to anyone else. Xiaoxin followed Roy's orders and avoided Senai. Later, Roy told Xiaoxin about a dance ceremony held by the noble vampires, and she had to attend. He even taught her how to dance on the balcony. Xiaoxin didn't know what Roy wanted, but she knew that he cared about her and was always protecting her. When Xiaoxin thought about attending a ball full of vampires, she got scared and ran away. While she was running, she bumped into Roy's brother Lo Duer. But instead of helping her, he pushed her into a nearby pond. Lo Duer mentioned that Xiaoxin looked like Roy's previous blood servant, who left him without any notice. Luckily, Roy came to rescue Xiaoxin and brought her back to her room. On a later day, she received a phone call about her brother's critical condition and rushed to see him, but the school authorities didn't let her leave since it was already late. Senai, as a disciplinary committee member, suggested that she could use Roy's nobility badge to pass through the gate. Somehow, Senai convinced Xiaoxin to take Roy's nobility badge without permission. and Xiaoxin successfully stole the badge and met up with Senai at night. They passed the gate and ran away because some people were following them. Senai stayed behind to stop the pursuers while Xiaoxin went to see her brother Xiaoling at the hospital. But Xiaoling seemed fine, which was strange because she had received a phone call saying he was seriously ill. Xiaoxin sensed that something was not right. Xiaoxin lost the nobility badge that she had stolen, and she told Roy about it when they bumped into each other. Roy didn't respond and ordered his employee to look for the badge. Later, Roy bit Xiaoxin's neck to drink her blood, which caused her to pass out from exhaustion and blood loss. When she woke up, she overheard the workers talking about how Roy couldn't attend the ball without his badge. Xiaoxin wanted to help, but didn't know how. Luckily, Roy's friend Xin drove by and offered to take her to the ball in appropriate clothing. However, Xin made Xiaoxin help him with a plan to assist Roy. At the ball, other vampires caused a commotion when they heard that Roy lost his badge. As a result, he couldn't attend the ball and had to meet with the elders. Roy promised to find the badge within 24 hours or give up his right to be an elder candidate. Meanwhile, Xiaoxin arrived at the ball and caught everyone's attention with her beauty. Then she saw Senai, who turned out to be a vampire who had joined the school to steal Roy's badge. Xin explained this to Xiaoxin, and she approached Senai to talk in private. Senai's real name was Will, but he suddenly grabbed Xiaoxin, and she couldn't move. At that moment, Roy appeared and knocked Will away, saying, "Don't touch my woman." The elders heard the commotion and arrived at the scene. Will's luck ran out when Roy's lost badge fell out of his pocket. The elders banned Will from the ball and revoked his candidacy as an elder. In reality, Xiaoxin managed to slip the badge into Will's pocket as instructed by Xin. She felt better for being useful to Roy and correcting her mistake. Roy even protected her from Will's insults, but Xiaoxin still isn't certain of Roy's feelings towards her. After the ball, Roy took Xiaoxin outside because she was uncomfortable around so many vampires. And they kissed at the end of the dance. Later, Roy took her home and put her to bed, kissing her again, but Xiaoxin was worried that he was going to drink her blood. The next morning, Roy was next to her bed, admiring her. When she tried to get up, Roy hugged her from behind. Turns out she had fallen asleep the night before, and nothing happened. Roy wanted her to eat well and regain her strength, because he thought she couldn't understand what he wanted. People in school were still gossiping about her, but to her surprise, her classmates were nice to her in class. One night, Roy gave Xiaoxin a bunch of dresses to wear to school, so people will stop gossiping about her, but Xiaoxin didn't want to accept them. At that moment, Roy pushed her against the wall and kissed her. Later, Roy's brother Loder came and said that Roy was only being nice to Xiaoxin because she looks like his old blood servant. Xiaoxin got restless over it and asked Roy the next day, but Roy got angry and walked away. After Roy started ignoring Xiaoxin, some students tricked her into coming to a place where they attacked and handcuffed her. A vampire girl started sucking her blood, but a hooded person came and stabbed the vampire. However, the hooded person was about to harm Xiaoxin when Roy appeared and fought them off. Xiaoxin was left unconscious after the attack. Then Roy took her to his place and took care of her injuries. When Xiaoxin woke up, she was scared about Roy's feelings for her and didn't know why he saved her. Roy confessed that he likes her, and Xiaoxin told him she thought she was just a replacement for someone he cared about before. But Roy reassured her, saying she is important to him and not a replacement. The next day, Xiaoxin wanted to go outside to get some fresh air. But Roy insisted that she could only go out with him. They went on an outing together, and Xiaoxin discovered some new and surprising qualities about Roy that she hadn't seen before. During that time, they also shared some romantic moments together, deepening their connection. At Roy's mansion, his friend Xin told Xiaoxin about being bullied for being half human and half vampire. He also shared that Roy never disliked him because of it. He even offered to tell Xiaoxin about Roy's past, but she wanted to hear it from Roy himself. Later at night, when Xiaoxin was in her room thinking about Roy's past, he suddenly appeared next to her on the bed. He asked her to praise him for coming back early, which made her laugh. She realized that she never want to let go of his hand and kissed him. Then there was an important exam on campus that Xiaoxin needed to take, so Roy instructed his friend Xin to escort her there. But during the exam, someone had placed a cheat sheet under Xiaoxin's desk and accused her of cheating. This was a false accusation, but it caused Xiaoxin a lot of distress. Fortunately, Roy arrived on the scene and quickly took charge. He intimidated all the students and the instructor, then led Xiaoxin out onto the balcony. There, he declared to everyone that Xiaoxin was his personal blood servant and warned them not to touch her. After the incident, Roy was worried that Xiaoxin would continue to be harassed by others on campus. So, he suggested that she be transferred to his class, where he could keep a closer eye on her and protect her from any further trouble. Well, that's the end of my recap and hope y'all enjoyed it. Find links to the full series in my description and in my pinned comment. And don't forget to subscribe and leave some likes. All your comments are always welcome. Let's see you in my next video.